I am here in Medjugorje. At the back we have Cross Mountain, and I'm with, what's your name?
My name is Dave Henson.
And Dave, where are you from?
Washington, D.C.
Wow, far away from here. No, it took a long time.
Just a little bit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And what did you think when you heard first time about Medjugorje?
I didn't know what to think. We've been to the Camino de Santiago in Spain. We've been to Rome, and they all have wonderful blessings that come along with those. I've known some people that have come here and they describe it as otherworldly, and so I know I need a closer relationship with our mother, and I'm certainly hoping through this trip that my wife and my family and we can get those blessings and share them with the rest of our family and walk the walk that God calls us to be every day.
Yes, and you went on the Camino. How was that experience?
It's fantastic. And I actually noticed some of the signs around here, like that one over there,
Yes.
Camino.
Over there it is, yeah.
And it's very reminiscent of what you see in Spain. And it's the walk, you're walking with God, but you also the people you meet along the way that God puts in your life, and from all over the world. And they all have the same hunger, whether we know it or not. It's that God-sized hole in our hearts that only He can fill.
But a lot of people think God the Father is an angry old man with a white beard. He wants to judge us and put us to hell and is happy. That is a distorted, evil image of God the Father. How is He truly?
Well, we are the impetulant children that project that on our Father. So no, He is all loving and all giving. And as my friend and I, George, were talking on the way over here, we were born and made to walk with Him, and sin separates us, even the smallest sin. So we just need to get better in living the life that He's designed us to live, and just always remember our life is not about us, it's about serving others.
But there's a lot of people I observed here in Medjugorje. They don't know how to properly love themselves, and then they have a distorted love for other people.
Fair enough.
How can you have that love for yourself? It should be a balance. It said, love yourself as your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn on your way about that?
Well, that is the $64,000 question, as you would say in our country. How do we know to love ourselves, and how do we truly do it? And I don't know the answer to that question other than put our trust in our God and His mother. And I'm trying to have that faith of a child. And so if we can get to that point, the faith of the child, then the kingdom is there for us.
So you made the experience when you live in the intention, Thy will be done, that you're more in peace, more in joy?
100%. Yeah, Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Yeah. So
that's the secret?
That's easier said than done, maybe. And especially for us fallen people. But just come back to trust, right? Our children, when they're young, they trust us unconditionally. But as they get older, they start to question us, as we sometimes question God. And so you just have to step back and realize that. Sorry about that.
If you pass by, exactly.
We have to realize that He's in control, we're not, and we have to put our faith and trust in Him.
So you made the experience when you hand over the control, like it's written in the Bible, that He's a good Father. He brings you good to good places, to healing places.
Right.
We
have to have our spiritual eyes open, not just our physical eyes.
How do you do that?
You tell me. I don't know. I mean, my friend George and I, we've talked about some of the spiritual things that we know to be true, and that world is always around us, and we're walking through it. But we fail to see it often, or we fail to acknowledge it even when we do see it.
Maybe it's like that. God is love. We are made in the image of love, and we just should love.
Yeah.
And the sin, it sounds so Middle Ages. Sin means that we didn't love, that we didn't truly love.
100%.
Yeah, you feel that as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. And
you go to confess. Oh, you want to say something?
No. Do I want to confess? Yeah.
Do you go to confession?
Absolutely.
What do you tell people? A lot of people are fearful. They think the priest will judge them. What do you tell them?
That is an all-loving encounter with God. Confession has never been harsh, has never been belittling. it's just been nothing but love and affirmation of the Father's love. It's just a beautiful right that he's given us through his church, the one church.
So beautiful at the end. You know, when we went to confession, we are in a state of grace, and then we can receive the Eucharist. Absolutely. A lot of people don't understand what is the Eucharist. Can you explain?
Well, as a convert to the faith, I was not raised Catholic.
Wow, we come to that later. I want to know. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and just in a real short explanation, God put it in my heart that there's a real tangible way that we can have God every day. I didn't know where that thought was coming from. I certainly didn't understand it. And then as I met a Catholic priest and started attending the Mass, I still didn't see it, even though they had the consecration, obviously, every Mass. It just went over my head. And then it was finally 1 year after I became Catholic on Easter Sunday that I heard Jesus clearly say to me, "It really is me, Dave." And that's when I knew what I knew. And the only thing as radical as the fact that our Creator that would die for our sins is the fact that he gives us his body and blood as nourishment on our journey through life to bring him back to himself.
And it's the resurrected Christ when
100%.
The priest is
Consecrated.
Yeah, and when he puts off a little piece and put it in the chalice, that means that's the resurrected Christ. We are receiving the living bread.
Absolutely, 100%. And even if you don't see it, it's still, the species are there, blood and bread. But it's truly what Jesus says it is. It's his body and blood. Take it, eat, and drink. And you have no life in you if you don't.
And you're a convert from what? You were an atheist or you're Protestant? Or?
Protestant, yeah.
And what is give us a nugget of the journey. Why, what is the process that you became Catholic?
Well, like I said, that sitting in the Protestant church, just thinking to myself, in the Old Testament, God gave us the prophets to keep the people close to himself. And the prophets revealed the way through the Old Testament. Well, now that we don't have the prophets, Christ has come, God himself. Even the Protestants believe that. Well, did he just leave and walk away from us? I mean, if he's been here, then now he is what we're supposed to have every day, not the prophets of the Old Testament. And that was the question in my head of all.
Wow, this is amazing.
So how do we have Jesus every day now that he's come to fulfill all that he has said? And I come to know is through the Eucharist, through his church. It's unquestionably, he said it was his body, he said it was his blood, and he said it is the covenant, the new and eternal covenant. I can't express it any differently than that.
Yes.
It's true. And if you doubt, just keep going and ask God to show you, and he will.
Exactly, ask and you shall receive. Very simple,
Absolutely.
No?
And he wants that persistence. Keep asking. You don't give up. If you don't get it in one try, you keep going.
You have that cross. Can you explain? It's a powerful cross here. Why do you have that cross here?
I happen to know a couple priests that are very they're in the deliverance ministry. They see the evil that's in this world every day, and Saint Benedict crucifix.
That's what it is?
That's Saint Benedict, yeah. And,
I have it in the back as well.
There you go. Evil is here, and although often it's under the appearance of good, what we think might be good for us, but it's really not good for us. Does that make any sense?
Yes, absolutely.
And so you have to trust what God has given us. He's given us a church with a shepherd.
Yes.
Right?
A church of order.
Yes, absolutely. Without order, without guardrails, without parameters, we go astray. We are lost sheep.
Exactly. Ask Protestant friends watching now. You have over 30 to 40,000 denominations.
Yeah.
If it's solo scriptura, only the Bible, why are there so many denominations?
Right.
If it's solo scriptura, you enter the Catholic Church because there's only one denomination, no?
Well, the Catholic Church is not a denomination. It is the church. The others are denominations. They broke away, right?
Yes.
Even with
absolutely.
what they consider good intentions, they've broken away, and they have less of the truth. I don't question their love for God, but if they want the full truth, then only God can provide them, and then only God can fill within their heart. It's within His church.
The Eucharist.
Absolutely. God gave us a visible church. It's not an invisible church of believers. It is a visible church. Take your brother to the church. Well, what church do you take him to? You take him to the one that Jesus promised would never fail. The gates of hell will not prevail against His church.
Yes.
And it's still here. Sometimes stormy seas, but it's still here. And got to have faith, right?
And a lot of people want to have what you have. You have this gentle peace in you. What do you tell them? How to gain that peace?
I don't know that you gain it. I think you just trust enough, try to trust enough, and be humble enough to know that your loving God always has your heart in His heart. So set your pride to the side. Just trust. And God will take care of you. God is good.
Wow, absolutely. And at the end, we are here in Medjugorje. It's called Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Was it for you tough as a Protestant? Our Lady, what is her role? How would you explain it now?
Yeah, no, that's still that's still, I won't say an obstacle, but it's my relationship with the Blessed Mother isn't where I want it to be, and it's all. I know it's because of me that it's not where I want it to be. It's been a slow walk, but she's she said, do whatever He tells you, right? And so she's been there every step of the way, at the foot of the cross and through His 30 years. But I have friends who've been here before. They tell me wonderful things about this place.
What did they tell you?
Well, they've just the intense spirituality that they have felt when they're here, and so I'm just I'm not unlike everyone else. Everybody I think longs for that, right? So I'm hoping it's just to get a piece of it.
Yes.
Just get a piece of it.
And maybe we do interview after the journey. That would be interesting, Dave. I let you go to Holy Mass. And what can I say? Thank you for that beautiful interview, Dave.
Thank you, sir.